It is still loading. One moment.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're letting the attendees in to the Zoom as we are going live on Facebook. So I'm glad that everyone could join us here on the Zoom in the Zoom webinar. We will have the chat window open as well as the Q&A box. And so feel free to use that throughout the presentation. I know we had a lot of really great questions that came in on Monday during our preview of the DeKalb Green New Deal. And of course, tonight we are going to be focusing on the second plank of our DeKalb Green New Deal, which is a just and equitable Green New Deal. And so as we wait just a minute or so to let folks join in and who might be joining a little bit late and getting logged into Facebook, I want to start off by just thanking all of the District 6 team and staff for helping put all of this together and all the week of activities and events and things for Earth Week. Earth Day, of course, is on Saturday, but we are celebrating all week our planet, Mother Earth, and the respect and the joy that we share for it. And we're so excited to talk today about a just and equitable Green New Deal. Let's put up our panelist slide, and I want to shout out our panelists here. You're going to be hearing from. They've got some brief presentations. We're going to just do a little 10 minutes per speaker tonight. We're going to keep this thing going until 8 o'clock, so folks can get on with the rest of the evening. But tonight we're going to cover some very important topic areas, and we're calling it a just and equitable Green New Deal tonight because we really want to talk about the aspects of the Green New Deal where we intersect with saving our planet, creating a more sustainable DeKalb, but also addressing economic inequality, housing affordability, environmental justice. And so this tonight we're going to be talking about affordable housing, which in our paradigm, sustainable housing, smart development, and smart growth is an affordable housing solution. And so Mr. Will Johnson, the Executive Director of MicroLife Institute, will be speaking about the work that we've been partnering on with MicroLife in regards to tiny homes, cottage homes, pocket neighborhoods, accessory dwelling units, and just really changing the nature of how we do housing here in DeKalb County. And then we're going to welcome up President of Decide DeKalb, Dorian DeBar. Decide DeKalb is our development authority in DeKalb County. He can speak about the history of where Decide DeKalb came from and the great work that they're doing to create green jobs and green development here in DeKalb County. And then finally, we've got Malik Alamash, the program manager for Tecton Training Center. Tecton is a training center based in DeKalb County in Clarkston area. And we've been partnering with them over the last 2 years to provide green job opportunities, to do weatherization, energy efficiency work on low-income homes and apartment complexes in Central and South DeKalb County. And this is a really big part of the DeKalb Green New Deal because we know that the green jobs that we can create with the policies and the investment in our community are jobs that cannot be outsourced. They can't be automated. An AI can't weatherize your home. An AI can't install solar panels. An AI may be able to work at a movie theater. I don't know, Dorian, but we'll see. Right now, AI can't do a movie theater. So, and we're going to talk about the green movie theater projects that we've got happening in DeKalb County. So really, without further ado, I want to jump right in and introduce Mr. Will Johnston, the Executive Director of MicroLife Institute, and he'll pull up some slides here. Will, take it away. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much, Commissioner Terry. Hey, everyone. Will Johnston with the MicroLife Institute. Just thrilled to be here to talk about housing and thinking how we do approach it more sustainably. So if you haven't heard about our project, I'll get into it in a second, the Cottages on Vaughn. It has been such an amazing lesson and journey just to show people how we can be more sustainable in just downsizing our footprint of how we build houses. And as Commissioner Terry alluded to, we do need to look at our policies and what we can allow and what we should be allowing to create that better opportunity for us to have more neighbors, connect with one another with better density, better housing, and better use of space. And you know what? We do have limited space in DeKalb County. We have borders of DeKalb County, we have borders of our cities, and we also have the borders of our unincorporated DeKalb County. And how do we allow for a better community to thrive by being a little bit more focused on how we build, where we build, and what we can preserve. So you've got a lot of great ways, especially through key examples that we have worked on, as well as others are proving that we can create better communities to connect with one another just by creating, allowing us to be a little bit more dense in how we build, but also allowing us to preserve what we need to, because we only have one Earth. It is Earth Day, and we do need to connect with our environment and allow the animals that live here too to thrive as well. So I have a short presentation just to remind people who MicroLife is, but then also a couple little tidbits from Cove Tool, who was a great partner of ours that did a great comparison, comparing a 750 square foot house to a regular 2,000 square foot house. So I'm excited to share it with you. So MicroLife Institute, we are going on about 7 or 8 years, but we've been around since 2014. Like, I just had this idea that how do we live in a smaller space? And so who we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We have stepped into an education and advocacy role, as well as a nonprofit developer. We have a number of upcoming projects that we're partnering with groups in DeKalb County, as well as in Fulton and other places around the state of Georgia, to show how we can build better, smarter, more sustainably, and really utilize space within our community. So what we do, education, advocacy, consultation, and research and development pilot projects. People need to see, feel, touch. If you haven't seen the Cottages on Vaughn, all DeKalb residents can come for free. The next tour is June 17th from 10 until noon. Please go to microlifeinstitute.org to get your free ticket. I believe the word is DeKalb. To put in the coupon code area. So we do live courses, we do online courses. We need people. One of the key tools to being more sustainable is education. Why are we so afraid of different types of housing? Yes, we are a lot of sprawl in DeKalb County. That doesn't mean we need to change those areas, but we do need to look how we can actually approach being more sustainable in how we build. And as we create city centers and places to gather, we need to think through how we can create better connectivity through our housing. We do community engagement. I just mentioned our microhome tours, and then we have our Innovative Housing Summit coming up in the fall. Our kind of bread and butter of what we focus on is, downsizing our way to happiness. I'm not just a speaker. I am also a member. I live here. That is my red house. So you would be coming to visit my lovely house on June 17th and see what it's like to live in 492 square feet. We abide by a lot of design elements brought to you by Ross Chapin and Pocket Neighborhoods. Just some great patterns of right-size housing. I'm not saying be as small as we did, but the average American household size is like 2.44 people, and the average size of a house is 2,500 square feet. Back in the 60s and 70s, it was like 1,000 square feet for 3.4 people. So houses are getting bigger. Our houses are big and our households are smaller. So we really need to look at how we can build smarter, better design, shrink our footprint. Some pretty pictures from cottages. We built 8 houses on a half acre, all under 500 square feet. Really just trying to show that there is a market There is a huge market for people wanting to downsize their way to happiness. And just by downsizing, you are more sustainable. There's just some really pretty pictures, but pictures don't do it justice, folks. Please do try to come out on June 17th. We're gonna have refreshments. We're gonna have extra speakers. We're making a day of it. So please see and for yourself of what downsizing and being more sustainable in a smaller footprint really does mean. This is just an aerial shot. So, and this is our kind of our quick like grid layout of what we've done, what we were able to do in our policy, because policy does matter. We need better policy, not just for certain size homes, but for us and other groups to use the policy for their demographics. So I'm not saying this needs to be built for anyone. This was a market rate project. So, but we were able to hit 60% of the area median income just by downsizing and shrinking our footprint within 0.57 acres. We have to give a huge shout out to, Commissioner Terry, who helped work with this, as well as the city of Clarkston and the wonderful neighborhood that is around us. So I want to jump into what I said about being sustainable, being footprint. There's just simple things that you can do, and as DeKalb residents and as Earth residents, to be a little bit more mindful of being a little bit more sustainable in your own household. So I just talked about the building envelope, just shrinking your footprint, mechanical systems, water heating, lighting, and electric power. Again, giving a shout out to the top left Cove tool who helped us put this together. I mentioned that, again, energy usage by the average home of 2,500 square feet versus the right size home of 750. Just because it's 750 doesn't mean there's a stigma should be attached to it. Amazing houses and amazing spaces can be designed in 750 square feet. But if I show you, we also compared this to the 8 regions of the United States, which abide by a lot of the laws of how people need to build. So I know I can't get into too much technical and I am limited in time. So I just want to make sure you understand this. The blue is the energy saving possibility of a 750 square foot house. The green is what you spend on a 2,500 square foot house. So you just see the savings and energy consumption alone. Small, let's say like right size versus a medium home energy consumption. Other things that I wanted to mention, again, being able to show, do different types of windows that reflect the sun, as well as Energy Star appliances really helps you be more sustainable in your household. Not to mention LED lights. I don't know why they chose this amazing, it seems like a Friday night hangout space, but LED lights are a great way to save in your own housing, as well as solar. There are great solar programs for you to learn more about. And then also we heat and cool the cottages on Vaughn with mini split ductless systems. That is a whole nother hour-and-a-half conversation, but we just want to make sure there are ways to create energy saving and being more sustainable in your current home. I already mentioned the better envelope of basically insulation and really trying to connect, or really allowing for less ebb and flow of the exterior and interior temperatures. And then I just ended on some pretty pictures of the cottages on Vaughn. Like I said, I just really want people to understand that the cottage on Vaughn was a pilot project that was very successful. We've won global recognition for affordable and workforce housing, but we haven't even scratched the surface of talking of how sustainable it is, because the top 4 houses in our development that's in this picture, we are net zero. This is solar. So these people are net zero homes because of the size of their footprint, the solar, and the elements that are put into their homes. So at the MicroLife Institute, we care about a number of things. We want you to be more sustainable, but you're already being more sustainable just by having a smaller home. There are so many people who need starter homes, aging in place, and being sustainable also is added to that list. So I don't want to speak anymore, but you can tell I'm passionate. I'm really excited about this. Commissioner Terry, thank you for all the work that you've done, and I look forward to hearing from the other panel.
Thank you so much, Will, and appreciate that comprehensive presentation. There is a lot to go through, but really just reflecting on the highlights that you pointed out, with whether they're energy efficiency appliance, the architecture and design of the buildings, the materials, the insulation, solar, the mini splits. And then I noticed one of the pictures had a nice picture of the landscape, sustainable landscaping as well, which we'll talk a little bit more about in the third phase of our webinar tomorrow night. And so if folks have questions, go ahead and put them in the Q&A. We'll get those at the end of the program here. But let me go ahead and call up Mr. Dorian DeBar, President of Decide DeKalb. Appreciate you being here, Dorian. Dorian is our Chief Economic Development person in DeKalb County, and he's doing amazing work. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of economic development in DeKalb County over the last several years, a lot in part to the work they're doing beside DeKalb. And so tonight, he's going to talk a little bit about some of that sustainable development and some of the things that they've been working on to make DeKalb a greener place. Dorian?
Thank you, Commissioner Terry, and thank you for your leadership on this. This is a very important conversation, and thank you for allowing Decide DeKalb to take part in this. And Will, great job on your presentation. You had a lot of my light bulbs going off and excitement all around. So thank you for that as well. So again, my name is Dorian DeBar. I'm president of the Decide DeKalb Development Authority. It is my honor to be here this evening to speak with you all about redevelopment and sustainability in DeKalb County. As Decide DeKalb Development Authority, we are the primary economic development organization for all of DeKalb County, including its 13 cities and municipalities. And we are primarily responsible for making sure that we improve the quality of life for DeKalb County and its residents and citizens through economic development, through job creation, through workforce development, and things of that nature. But when we do all of that, we want to make sure we do this through the lens of sustainable communities, livable communities, green communities, and if the opportunity presents itself for us to remove some hazardous materials from sites that had a former use, maybe an abandoned gas station. And we'll talk about what we've done as Decide DeKalb throughout this presentation. But we want to make sure we turn those former hazardous sites into a higher and better use, something that the community can rally around and champion around. So again, we're excited to be here and excited to go through this with you. So just a couple of highlights. Decide DeKalb as your economic development organization, we are intentional about our efforts in this space. One of the tools that we have for Decide DeKalb is a brownfield remediation tool. So what that means in the easiest way is to say, we have grants. We also afford grants and loans to remediate sites. So again, think of a former gas station, a former dry cleaner. When another use comes along, it takes funds to remediate what that site used to be in accordance with EPA guidelines. And again, just to make sure we have safe communities. But the EPA has a program, a brownfields program, whereby they funnel federal dollars to local organizations such as Decide DeKalb Development Authority, as well as DeKalb County, to make sure that we could provide funding to help advance that remediation. And so I'm happy to announce that in 2020, Decide DeKalb was awarded $2.5 million by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for additional supplemental funds to remediate brownfields in the county. This is our largest award to date in the county's history from the EPA in terms of brownfield remediation, and we're happy about that. We didn't get there on accident, folks. That took a lot of relationship building with the EPA. That took a lot of good work from DeKalb County as well as Decide DeKalb. And to date, we've been awarded $3.2 million. We want to do more of this. This is important work. We actually have an example on this deck, on this particular slide of a project that we funded and utilized some EPA funds toward. And it's the Pratt Pullman District. This is the first official bioswale stormwater project in DeKalb County. But on this particular slide, we have the Pratt Pullman Yard. This is a former train depot. Some of y'all might be familiar with it. It sits in the city of Atlanta on the DeKalb County side. And this is a great project, turning a former train depot into a vibrant mixed-use development. Right now, it has a certain uses, but we'll get there. But we definitely put some funding toward this in collaboration with some other municipalities as well to see this turn from what it was into what it is today. And actually next week, Commissioner Terry will be present along with other county commissioners and other elected officials, the CEO, for the state of DeKalb in this very site. And we would not have gotten here if not for brownfield remediation of brownfield dollars. This is just an example. So this is the East Decatur Greenway. And remember what I say that think about a former gas station. So this sits in DeKalb County. And I refer to this as Columbia Drive, but when you get over here, it's something else. But this was a former gas station, and we worked with the local community, a nonprofit, to create the East Decatur Greenway. This is a phenomenal project. I mean, this is a trailhead that, again, it was a former gas station site. We turned it into a trailhead. But again, to get here to EPA dollars and just thoughtful conversations with organizations such as Decide DeKalb, as well as the DeKalb County government, to turn this into a higher and better use. And this is now an amenity. So what was once an eyesore for the community is now an amenity for the community. And we're really excited about this one. And it took a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, took some time and effort, but we're happy about what we got. And again, when we see these sort of sites throughout DeKalb County, again, when you're talking about it from an investment standpoint and economic development standpoint, these sites are typically a little bit more difficult to develop because you have hazardous materials on site. So this is where we can step in and activate that EPA tool and that brownfields tool to make sure that we can get to the next level. And this is one that I'm super excited about, and the commissioners referred to this earlier. Electric Isle Studios, which is also in DeKalb County, in the central portion of DeKalb County near Memorial Drive. This is the first 100% LEED certified studio in the world. So this is a big deal. So the developers here saw it was necessary to create a model for how you can do a movie studio, make it LEED certified. No one else has done this in the world. So I'm happy that this is in DeKalb County and we all participated in this in a meaningful way to make sure this happens. And so that's when I spoke to earlier, how we're here for economic development, but we always try to look through all of the projects that we support and then we push through the lens of sustainability and sustainable communities and making sure that it has a green element. And so not all projects will have a green element, unfortunately, but we do approach the conversation and say, is this a possibility and is it feasible? And in this case, it was, and it was feasible and it made sense. And we're happy that this project is coming online. And again, the first LEED Gold certified film and television production campus in the world. So here in DeKalb County, I don't want anyone to miss this. This is a big deal. And I have a great picture of Commissioner Terry. So thank you all for the time, Commissioner. And I'll hand it back.
Thank you, Dorian. Appreciate that briefing. And I had the opportunity to go out to the East Decatur Greenway when I first became commissioner and learned about the whole story about that gas station. And, you know, and I can't remember if that was one of the first EPA grants to do this kind of work that I think, we had worked on, but it has really transformed the whole area, the bike path, the pollinator garden, some of the stormwater work. I think we also did a bioswale over there. So we got 2 bioswales in DeKalb County. It's very exciting. And so folks, feel free to put a Q&A in there, or we can you can put it back when we get back to the end of the program here. But thank you, Dorian, for that presentation. It's really exciting to know as we talk about DeKalb County and the DeKalb Green New Deal and really moving forward on a lot of these policies, we know that we're actually doing a lot of really great stuff already. And so we want to hold up and recognize and appreciate the work that has been going on for years and a lot more recently, and then talk about what we can do moving forward. So I'm going to turn it over to Malik. Hey, Malik, come on over. And, I met Malik over in Clarkston when I was mayor, I guess 2016 at Refuge Coffee. You were, I think, working as a barista, or you were working at Refuge Coffee as one of your first jobs, I think. And so, got to know him early on when he was, first came to America as a refugee from Syria. And I'm so proud that he's been continuing to do amazing work in Clarkston as the program manager for the TechCon training program. We've granted through our American Rescue Plan funds from District 6, as well as the city of Clarkston, over $350,000 support this weatherization and green job training program. And so Malik, I'll turn it over to you to talk about the great work y'all are doing and the work to be done ahead. Go for it.
Thank you, Commissioner Terry. And I do remember the moments where we met back at Refuge Coffee in 2016. It was wonderful. And thank you for allowing me to share the Empower Clarkson program here. Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here and excited to talk about the Empower Clarkson training program. My name is Malik Al-Armash, and I'm the program manager at the Empower Clarkson program. I will be sharing about the program aims to achieve two objectives, namely training individuals in DeKalb County and easing the burden of the power bill of the homeowners. While my presentation focuses on the first goal, I would like to begin by sharing a story about a homeowner who participated in the program during the last cohort. I scheduled an inspection for a home in Decatur, Georgia, and the minute I went through the hallway, I felt a breeze of cold air coming from the ground up. The thermostat was on 81 degrees, and yet the temperature in the home didn't feel like it. So I knew there was something going on. So I informed the air conditioning technician, and he found out that the crawl space has zero insulation. After putting up the fiberglass insulation, we then walked again through the hallway, and we immediately noticed difference. The homeowner was overjoyed and tearfully expressed their gratitude, saying it finally feels like home again. Commissioner Terry has provided support for the expansion of the Empower Clarkson program through the ARPA funds. Empower Clarkson program was made possible by federal funds in the American Rescue Plan Act. So what's the Empower Clarkson program? It's a green efficiency training through Tecton. Tecton offers the Empower Clarkson program as one of the training programs, which is designed to facilitate the career opportunities for individuals in the green efficiency industry. It's an earn to learn opportunity. The program was designed to pay participants $15 an hour. The program also serves as a green efficiency initiative aimed at assisting homeowners in reducing their power bill. What are the steps to train participants? First, we gather insights. We gather insights from the community on how to maximize impact. And then we recruit individuals from the community. And then the classroom training starts. And then we have hands-on training and retrofit, where households welcome job program trainees and paid construction participants to perform free energy efficiency to retrofit their home. And then the graduation part. The classroom training. The classroom training is a four-week long training, and it covers introduction to workplace and safety. Workplace safety is a crucial aspect of any organization, as it ensures of well-being of employees and prevent accidents, injuries from occurring. And then we jump into the introduction to hand and power tools. During the program, we use hand and power tools, and more specifically throughout the work day. Hand and power tools are essential tools used in many workplaces. And then we go to introduction to heating and air conditioning throughout the classroom training. And heating and air conditioning system are crucial in maintaining comfortable and healthy indoor environments, especially in extreme temperatures. And then we go into introduction to home insulation. Home insulation plays a critical part in reducing energy consumption and saving money on energy bills. The hands-on training. The hands-on training program lasts over 8 weeks and offers participants valuable opportunity to gain practical experience and develop new skills. One of the most remarkable aspects of this program is that the participants understand the larger goal of helping homeowners, reducing their energy bills. The understanding serves as a source of motivation for participants as they work toward a goal that benefits both homeowners and the environment. Graduation. Each participant earn a certificate of completion and earn a tools box, and then refer to our partner for a potential employment in the green construction. And those are facts and data of our participants before and after, and before and after the program. 63% of our participants speak 3 different languages. 51% of participants are unemployed prior to the program. All participants are from refugee and immigrants and marginalized individuals. All participants are residents of DeKalb County. And what are the outcomes? The outcomes are we have 35 to 40 of the graduates are hired to work in the green efficiency industry. and 83% of the participants fully commit and graduates. Thank you, Commissioner Ted.
Awesome. Thank you, Malik, and really appreciate that presentation and all the great work that you've done to really not only train individuals in DeKalb County, put them to work, but then put them to work in training to help our own neighbors, our own homeowners. And so we'll bring all the panelists back to the screen here. And let me just start out as our panelists come back on, and the audience contemplates any questions they might have. Feel free to use the chat or the Q&A box, and we can pick those up. But let me start with you, Malik, because when you talk about the story of the homeowner who really felt like their home was a home again after you just helped deal with that drafty situation, and I'm sure, I think in the past you've shared with us that there's an average of like 33% energy savings, which I think upwards of $600 a year in energy bill savings. But really, like, just the thought of like not having a drafty, breezy house that could be having air pollution or contamination come in, and when we think about all of the health impacts of that as well. In fact, actually, Miranda and I were just had a meeting this morning, and we were talking with an individual who's been talking with hospitals around the country, and they're actually sharing that some of this work that you're doing is actually helping in some cases clean up the air and make indoor air pollution go away, which is helping reduce emergency room visits for asthma attacks and other respiratory illnesses. And so you're talking about saving $600 a year on their power bill. These emergency room hospitals are talking about saving hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and reducing asthma-related respiratory distresses and emergencies that ultimately are picked up by the social safety net hospitals like a Grady or an Emory. And so, it's amazing to think about the intersectional work of a just and energy and equitable Green New Deal, because we can save the planet, reduce our carbon emissions, create better public health, reduce indoor air pollution, and then, the other green, save the dollars. But so can you talk about what is y'all's, I know that was the most recent cohort. Are y'all recruiting now? Are you looking for other participants to join the program, and also homeowners or renters who might qualify to have those improvements done on their homes?
Well, thank you so much, Commissioner Ted. I actually want to emphasize on the fact that we're seeing a lot of improvement in the community after prior to the work that we do, and especially when it comes to health issues like asthma. According to our data, there are certain areas in Clarkson and DeKalb County that they need an immediate change in terms of like how their home is insulated. One of the homes that I went to, they need an update in their ductwork structure. And I've asked the homeowner questions about health issues and if they have kids, and they say that they have children who has asthma, who was born in the home and grew up with this health issue. So with the Empower Clarkson program, we're able actually to expand to expand and fix, be part of the solution for this health issue. So as of you mentioned that we're running a cohort. Yes, we are. We're going to start classroom. We're right now in the recruiting phase, and we're gathering data and insight with the help of a GreenLink company, and we will be starting classroom training on June 3rd, on Monday, and this classroom training will be extended to 4 weeks. So we added more aspects to the classroom training to make sure that the trainees are able to conduct and conduct the hands-on training.
Wonderful. Okay. And so just to recap, the training you're recruiting right now for trainees.
Both actually, for trainees and homeowners.
Okay, very good. All right. And then we'll make sure as we're moving on for the rest of the program here in the Q&A, if you can just pop in the chat there, the way that folks can, get connected with the program if they want to recommend someone either for a trainee or for, a home that needs that work. We definitely appreciate that. Thank you, Malik. And let me turn it over to President DeBar because Dorian, you talked about the Electric Owl Studios being the first gold LEED certified studio and in America, film studio in America. What was the reason why they decided to do that?
So good question, Commissioner. And let me first say the first gold LEED certified studio in the world. So let's not discount
in the world. Okay, nice. All right.
What we delivered to this global place. But no, so the reason was because they really wanted to do something unique and special here in DeKalb County. And as you know, they had a former movie studio production facility in DeKalb County as well. And so for their second one, they wanted to do something that really wowed investors and wowed production companies. And so when you're talking about bringing that type of studio online, which has, and I missed some of these talking points, so over 30% of the studio's power is generated from renewable sources. That's a win. And so as we know, Hollywood is also big into renewable energy. I mean, West Coast, California, if you can bring that same mindset to Georgia, to DeKalb County, that's a real win for them. And that's a way for them to lure users for that site. Also, LED lighting, EV charging stations, and it just helps reduces the studio's carbon footprint. So it helps for them to sell this as a site for their end users of the place. But again, I thought it was a great idea, something that we discussed. And when they first mentioned it, I didn't know if it was actually feasible, if they were just trying to wow me as well. But it actually turned out to be extremely feasible and something that they did, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really amazing. And to have that first gold LEED certified status in the world is a real achievement, and hopefully a bar that others will try to reach around the world and maybe future studios as well. And let me ask you about I know a big mission for Decide DeKalb is job creation and bringing in, whether it's manufacturing. I know we have like healthcare focuses. Is there any opportunity in sort of that future sort of higher tech green job sort of category? Because I'm seeing where we have even Republicans and Democrats, all agreeing in Georgia that we need to have, solar energy manufacturing. We had Kamala Harris, our vice president from the Georgia last 2 weeks ago, talk about a major investment in the Q cells plant in Dalton. And then we've got all of the Rivian and the electric vehicle truck manufacturer and the battery plants. And so that green tech, high tech kind of future, is that something that is is sort of in the mix for DeKalb County moving forward?
Yes, absolutely. Another great question. So yes, it is in the mix. And so we as an organization, we started what we call these industry councils. And so what that means is we look to our private sector folks within these industries, whether it be manufacturing and, to your point, in the technology space. So we look to those private sector folks. We bring them to the table to talk about economic development and what they would like to see in the next form of our workforce. And so we're going to leverage those conversations and create robust pipelines. And that is some of the conversations that we're having. Beyond that, to take it a step further, as you know, our latest and most recent and newest strategic economic development plan is going to start processing sometime next year. And that, Commissioner, should be a real big point and a real big conversation for all DeKalb County residents and stakeholders as to how do we leverage this new day and age that we're in, the EV infrastructure, how do we play a role in that here in DeKalb County? How do we attract EV jobs and also within the IT industry? And so all these conversations have already started, but I think after next year, we have a real good guideway and a real good strategy on how do we really leverage that better.
That's awesome. And I'm sure we can share with the audience and all of everyone on the email list the opportunities to, I guess, sort of input and participate in that strategic plan, because that's a really great opportunity, I think, for DeKalb residents, business owners to, continue talking about this green manufacturing, green job opportunity. I really do believe that a lot of these green jobs are ones that just can't be outsourced. They're homegrown jobs, homegrown energy, and so I just we hear every day about automation and AI and all this kind of stuff, and so I think when we think about creating good, sustainable, higher paying jobs for our DeKalb County residents and future residents, this to me seems like a really great opportunity for future sustainability and economic development. So that's really exciting. Thank you, Dorian. All right, let me turn over to Will. And Will, I just kind of go back to what you had put in your slides about all of the features that can go into a home to make it more sustainable. I remember because the cottages on Vaughn, when you look at them, they look kind of like traditional homes. They don't look like futuristic homes. And these modern boxes and everything. So I think I remember you telling me a while back that the initial design for the cottages on Vaughn was a more sort of futuristic kind of design.
I wouldn't say future. I would say Scandinavian modern.
Scandinavian modern. Okay, all right.
I mean, very much like what I'm hoping to. I'm sticking to my, tried and true. But I'm going to be building a micro cabin up in North Georgia, and it's Scandinavian modern. But I'm staying to brand. It's only going to be 609 square feet. So, so I'm sorry I interrupted you. What would you like me to address about the cottage? Sorry.
Well, just the fact that you had these homes that they just look like, sort of kind of classic homes, but they're net zero homes.
Well, and I
so that
think
just speaks to the design features of it.
Well, and that's what's great about where we are with technology. I think we're with all of our panel, like we need to let people know that we have advanced so far in so many aspects of home building. Yet it's still going to cost money. I think people don't understand how much it does take to build a house, especially with you factor in the pipeline, materials, jobs. There's just a lot going on and a lot of moving parts. And we also need to step back and know that we can create amazing spaces for our neighbors and for our residents, and be able to offer them at a net zero, sustainable, whether it be modern, whether it be old time, classic, or there are ways to bring a part of our neighborhood with us in new development. But it does come back to making sure people are okay with it. And it is having conversations about, we literally have millions of people moving to the metro area. And how do we play our part? And how do we also make sure we hit them off at the pass, if you will, and really plan and think through every community, every neighborhood, and every city within DeKalb County, and how we can be welcoming, strategic, and create that space that does drive our small town economics, as well as the DeKalb County as a whole. The cottage on Vaughn is just, it's so great for people to see, but know that that's not the be all end all product that we want to put everywhere. We need the ability and the policy to allow us to be more innovative, whether it be affordable housing, attainable housing, or market rate. We need the ability and give us better guidelines in the developer sense, so we can actually build better for us and produce those products that can last forever, that allow us to, have a great space, connect to our community, and support our surrounding area.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you were contemplating, so the design of the home and the appliances and the windows and the pitch of the roof and all these design architectural features were, put into context. You also allowed, I guess, the homeowner coming in to install solar panels as like was that like an add-on they had to pay for themselves, or was it part of their mortgage?
It was, well, we did get and I don't know the correct term, but someone from Better Tomorrow Solar came in and said, these are the homes that can handle solar. And, and so, we knew we wanted solar. So we made sure those 4 were upgraded, and we worked with the buyers, and any spec home or a home that we were going to sell, market rate was going to have that solar package. But what's crazy is that the houses don't have the bells and whistles of the windows, and we are not Earthcraft. We do not have anything spectacular. We do have some pretty cool insulation if you want to talk insulation, but the fact that we are
Malik wants to talk insulation.
Yeah. But the fact
That's true. I got excited there.
Yes. But we have spider in the ceiling, and then we've got regular in the walls. But the fact that we are 500 square feet and smaller, we are so above sustainability just because of size. And what people need to see is that others can be successful and have a higher quality of life in a smaller footprint. It might not be for them, and that's okay. You can live in your 2,800 square foot house or whatever house that you have, but we need the ability to build smarter and in areas have smaller lot sizes, smaller homes, and ways to allow us to drive better community density in city centers that connect us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the point there is really well taken, because when you look at Metro Atlanta, a big aspect of climate change and air pollution is tailpipe emissions. And why do we have all these? Yeah. And well, that's the thing, is like, if folks live really far away, they have to drive really far to get from home to work, to visit friends, family, shopping, all these things. And so we're so car dependent. Are now, I mean, it's interesting because, ironically, like, we've done such a good job as a country in the last several years of creating more solar panels and shutting down coal plants, that the #1 greenhouse gas emission in America right now is tailpipe emissions. And so when you talk about a sustainable community, it's not only just in the built environment, but it's about having that gentler density closer to those activity centers, where folks really can have that 50-50 option of, well, I can walk and bike to some of my things that I want to go to today instead of drive.
Right.
And if we have less cars on the road, that's great for traffic for those who really still have to drive everywhere. Or it means that our greenhouse gas emissions are going to go down, and people, of course, the other nice, part of sustainable development is you get to walk and bike, and you're healthier, and you talk to your neighbor, and you're like happier because you're like actually having human interactions with people. So there's like this compounding effect when we talk about just building neighborhoods and developments a little bit different. All these little sustainability features add up to a big impact.
I had the wonderful luxury of being able to tour a cul-de-sac in Tempe, Arizona about 2 weeks ago. And think of strolling through a medieval town, of how they have placed the buildings. You don't walk through it, you saunter. And so on these 18 acres, it is car light or car free, but it's people first, car not there. So how do we start incorporating ways to remove car culture? Because if we do build it, 65% of Americans say they want walkability, yet 5 to 10% actually is, or are, whatever the correct grammar is there. But you've hit so many great points. But for DeKalb County and every county, you look at, we have a lot of clients all over the state of Georgia. They are driving county to county. It's not just metro. Car culture is everywhere. And people are living in everywhere from Toombs County, driving all the way to White County. I mean, I'm not that far, but you get what I'm saying is the fact that their jobs are over here, their house is over here. This is what they can afford. We're not doing anything to fill in the missing middle housing to allow them to live closer and connect with their community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to just add in one other thing, because the work that you did at Cottages on Vaughn and Clarkston, of course, has inspired us in DeKalb County, and we have our own cottage court ordinance before the community council that we hope will sort of begin the steps, like you said, to move towards greater housing diversity, different product sizes, more sustainable neighborhoods. But in the interim of when working through all those zoning and building code regulations, y'all really inspired me to really encourage and in some cases just require new developments to have some of these sustainability features already baked in. And so I really enjoyed working the last 2 years with Commissioner Jeff Rader. He retired last year, but for 2 years, we had so many developments from the North DeKalb Mall to townhome developments to shopping centers, and every one we were able to see electric vehicle, and we kind of like really pushed it, because like sometimes developers are like, oh, it's so expensive. And then we say, well, wait a second, here's the numbers and here's what people are looking for. So we have more solar ready new construction, more EV ready, or just EV chargers already in the garages. The North DeKalb Mall is already going to be pre-wired. 20% of the parking spots for electric vehicle chargers when they build the entire thing out. So the exciting thing is, like, as we do our development projects, to embed these sustainability features, either one just from the get-go or that capacity, that infrastructure. So like you said, when a homeowner says, well, I want to get the solar package, or maybe the home sells in 5 years and someone says, I want to put solar on my roof, it's already pre-wired, everything is already there. And so it reduces the cost of the installation. And so we're just trying to, tick away at the little things here and there to get us to greater adoption.
And to your point, and I don't mean to be hogging the conversation, but how do we advance along with the technology, but also reduce the cost? Because if we want affordable, sustainable, attainable housing, we do need to think about the end user and end price tag. Because building, if we require people to do certain things, then that requirement cost will be passed along. So how do we reduce ways for us to allow for more attainable prices and create the opportunity that is needed for everything from 30% area median income that is subsidized to 60% to 80% to even 120 and more? So we need to be able to evolve like our amazing solar panels and all the other materials that are advancing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do know that before our commission, Commissioner Larry Johnson last year introduced a workforce housing ordinance that develops density bonuses for certain affordability percentages. And so between that ordinance and maybe working with Dorian at the side DeKalb, we can begin to develop a kind of a sustainability green sort of aspect bonus to encourage those developments to address affordability and sustainability at the same time. All right, last question, Will, because Mala got really interested when you said insulation. So you said there's spider insulation in the ceiling?
It's just a type of insulation, which it's a foam.
Okay, Malik, you know what that is?
No, I have never heard of it. I'm not.
Okay, good.
I'm
All right, we need to get that on the program.
An air conditioning technician of anything, but we have used R19 fiberglass insulation, and that's what we're using mostly for our crawl space and attic. And we also use foam for cracks between the windows, like in the windows or doors.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but there's some amazing advances in spray foam insulation technology. I mean, it is amazing. Literally, if folks who are really interested who come to the tour on June 17th, I will let you in the attic and you can see my clutter, because I do have stuff, even though it's only 500 square feet. But you'll see the spray foam that's in the insulation in the attic that, I was told it is a spider grade something. I am not an expert in insulation, but it is fascinating to know it keeps the heat out and the cool in my attic.
Perfect.
All right, Malik, I want to make sure you're going to be at the tour so you can check out Will's attic.
Definitely.
Maybe we'll consider adding that to the program so folks can know how to do the spray foam spider stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe like we'll show them. We'll be part of the classroom training of going to the homes and see what other installations are there.
Nice, perfect. All right, awesome. All right, well, let me turn it over to close us out. Miranda Rupke, who is our project coordinator for the DeKalb Green New Deal, she's going to talk about how you can get more involved, what's coming up tomorrow and this week, and then and close us out. Miranda, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you to our guest speakers, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I do want to say real fast, I put the wrong email address in the chat, so I'm resending that now. If you are curious about finding out more about the DeKalb Green New Deal, please feel free to email me. You can also scan this code that is up on the screen right now and fill out our DeKalb Green New Deal champion form. We'd love to stay in touch with you. That's kind of that's the first call to action that we have for y'all, is to let us know if you are interested in this kind of work, staying involved, being more involved. I do see a lot of familiar names that we've seen that came to Monday's event and even yesterday's event. So thank you again for being here. Please fill out the form if you have not done so, and we will definitely be in touch on ways that you can get more involved. Some of those being, we've had a lot of conversations about policy already. This is an ongoing conversation, so we'll want to let you know about opportunities to come advocate for these policies that allow for the work that we've talked about tonight to happen. As you can see on the screen, we have another Zoom series tomorrow about conservation and access to nature. You can see the speakers listed as well as the topics. We'd love for you to come out again tomorrow, 7 to 8 p.m. via Zoom. And then Earth Day is on Saturday. There are a lot of events happening throughout DeKalb County, whether that be on Friday or Saturday in the cities. There's some in Doraville. There's some Stonecrest, Chambly, Decatur. There's a bunch of things happening. So we, recommend that you go to any of these if you're looking to celebrate Earth Day on actual Earth Day. And again, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, if you want to keep following along, please go to Commissioner Ted Terry on Facebook, as well as Instagram. His contact information is on the screen, as well as his Chief of Staff, Kelly Cato's contact information. Like we've been mentioning, the first call to action is to really get in touch with us so we know who is interested in being a part of the DeKalb Green New Deal. There are a lot of y'all out there that are already doing this awesome, important work, and we'd love to continue to engage with y'all so we know what work you want to see, as well as so we can share with other community members about the work happening and the possibilities for a Green New Deal in DeKalb County. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time. See y'all tomorrow. Take care.